Well, rarely has "You'll Never Walk Alone," that great Liverpool anthem, been sung with as much emotional resonance as it has been tonight. But the sun's still out on Merseyside. We're at Anfield, the home of the champions, last season's all-conquering Premier League outfit. But for Arne Slot and Liverpool, the title challenge starts all over again, right here, right now. The 34th Premier League season is off and underway, and it is live on TalkSport. Liverpool from right to left in the first half towards the Anfield Road end, and all in red, and Bournemouth in their change kit tonight of royal blue will attack the Kop end in the first half from left to right. I remind you of the two teams in just a moment. Liverpool have the ball with Szoboszlai on halfway, and the first Premier League touch for Jeremy Frimpong, their new right back. Salah in field from the far side, the Liverpool right, and Liverpool go back to Ibrahima Konate. Addison on the ball now is the Liverpool goalkeeper. Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk and Kerkez in the back four. Szoboszlai and McAllister in the middle. Salah, Wirtz, and out on the left, Gakpo in support of Ekitike up front. Bournemouth, of course, aiming to cause a shock to start the new season tonight. They have Petrovic in goal, and in fact they're on the ball now midway inside the Liverpool half with Scott, though he will have to go back to the halfway line. Smith, Senesi, Diakite and Chauffeur in defence. Adams and Scott in the holding roles as Diakite gives it away. Cody Gakpo square towards the edge of the D. Mo Salah curls it into the box. Diakite there to make up for his error. The new signing, and he heads it clear. Liverpool have it back on the halfway line with Konate. The champions regain possession quickly. Semenyo, Brooks and Tavernier behind Evan Nielsen in the forward line tonight for Bournemouth. It is a warm evening at Anfield, a sultry evening here tonight, and the roar of the Liverpool fans as evocative as ever in the build-up to kick-off, and so the raucous noise has continued into the opening couple of minutes. Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0, live on TalkSport as Liverpool come forward out on the left wing with Gakpo. Kerkez is trying to make an overlapping run. Gakpo darts infield. Ekitike 25 yards out with a low shot, and that's easy for the new Bournemouth goalkeeper, Georgi Petrovic. Here's Dean Ashton.
Well, first of all, what a wonderful tribute to Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva. Fantastically honoured by everybody inside Anfield, and what Anfield does to every player that visits here is it's got an emotional edge, and none more so than this evening for this Bournemouth team to deal with. And Liverpool, of course, starting quickly, and Ekitike, as we saw at Wembley, is not afraid to take a shot on early on. Ball at his feet outside the box, not the strike he was expecting, but Liverpool starting brightly.
Long ball downfield by Petrovic, and a cushion back header from Konate all the way through to Addison, making his 300th Liverpool appearance tonight, all in light green. Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0. We are high up in the main stand to the left of the halfway line. It certainly is the sort of evening where club colours are on show. Ekitike, edge of the centre circle, has done well to hold it up, and he's smuggled it wide left to Gakpo. Near side of the field, Kerkez joining the attack against his old team. His cross is cut out by the American. Tyler Adams plays it to the feet of Smith, the ever dependable right back. Smith hoists a high clearance upfield. It bounces down on this carpet-like Anfield surface. Konate didn't read the bounce well at all there under the challenge of Evan Nielsen, but the clearance is from Van Dijk. Ekitike holds it well yet again. Wide right this time. Mo Salah infield from the far side. Onto the left foot. Tipped over by Petrovic. Trademark Mo Salah, and the Premier League's top marksman of last season was nearly off to a flying start.
Yeah, what a brilliant effort from Mo Salah from the right-hand side. And all of a sudden he checked his shoulder. There was Frimpong overlapping with such pace, which meant the space was there. To be fair, allowed Salah to come onto that left foot. He whipped it towards the far corner, and then Petrovic up and over with his left hand to palm it over the top.
A flying save from the Now former Chelsea goalkeeper Wirtz has rolled the corner low along the dead ball line. He's going to get it back from McAllister. Wirtz pings the ball towards the edge of the D. Frimpong chests it down, and a great pace and energy from the confident champions in the early stages. Salah's cross, Van Dijk with a header over. Liverpool have had 2 chances in the opening 4.5 minutes. Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0. You're listening to Talk Sport.
Terrific cross from Mo Salah from the right hand side in towards the 6-yard line. Virgil van Dijk was offside, he didn't know it, and he would have expected to do better with that header. It was a fraction high for him. He just misjudged the flight and skimming off his head over the top rather than meeting it on the full.
Given away this time by Trufair. Bournemouth in trouble. Salah in the penalty area, crowded out. Trufair and Adams between them got back. Sandwich Salah in between the 2 blue shirts there, and Bournemouth smuggled it up towards the halfway line, but at the moment they can't get out. A summer of change for Bournemouth, of course, particularly in those defensive areas, Dean Ashton, and there is a nervousness about the way Bournemouth have started this game. Perhaps that's understandable.
Well, of course, the tempo as well that Liverpool have set is difficult to cope with early on here at Anfield. But yes, there are new players, they've got to get used to each other, but also the way Bournemouth play. They don't sit back and defend in numbers deep, they try and press you.
9th in the Premier League last season, and a club record points tally for Antonio Iraola. Here is the new fullback Trufair surging down the far side. Low ball into the box, and Semenyo turns it over on the half volley. He got the wrong side of his marker, Kerkez, and Semenyo should have kept that down. Had he done so, he might have given Bournemouth the lead in front of the Cops, still 0-0.
Yeah, 2 bits of lazy defending, really. Mo Salah not doing the job to cut off the angle for the ball to Trufair on the left hand side. He picks out a brilliant cross right across the 2 Liverpool centre backs, and Kerkez allows Semenyo to get ahead of him when he should have come across. It's a difficult finish because it skips just in front of Semenyo. You've got to work so hard to keep that down. You've got to get right over the top of it, and he was just stretching slightly and over the top, and it's a big chance.
Well, that's a warning for Liverpool, who set the standard last season in the Premier League, and now they have to raise it again. The usual suspects will be in hot pursuit. Arsenal, Manchester City and Chelsea, you'd expect chief among them, and of course Liverpool have spent big to strengthen this summer, but after all the build-up, nothing like the test of the very first game of the new campaign. It is live on Talk Sport with Aston Villa against Newcastle in the second game of the season to come. Again, live and exclusive with us tomorrow at Villa Park. And the Monday Night Football, the first of the season, is Leeds against Everton. Again, live on Talk Sport. 0-0. Bournemouth have a throw. Now Semenyo's going to hoist this in long. Liverpool have brought all the red shirts back to defend inside the penalty area. Long throw towards Senesi, beaten in the air by opposite number Konate, Liverpool's number 5, as Bournemouth attack the Kop end in the first half. Arne Slot out to the edge of his technical area, hands in pockets, a smart new grey jacket for the occasion tonight, and Andoni Iraola about 15-20 yards to his left. Bournemouth nearly give it away again in the defensive third. Trufair initial heavy touch, manages to send it back to Petrovic, who will clear upfield. Heavy back pass by Konate, and that is wide for a corner. If that's on target, and I suppose that's the reason, Dean Ashton, why defenders always try to play the ball wide of the goal area itself, but if it had been on target, that would have been a horrendous own goal.
Yeah, I'm not sure he is aiming to keep it wide of the goal. I think he just catches way too much of it. Ibrahima Konate, just poor from him, comes more off the shin and fires past Alisson, who actually was in a really good position. So if that had been on the target, I think he'd have been able to cope with it. But still, just a little nervy, isn't it, from Liverpool?
And so Bournemouth have a corner, they take it short. David Brooks to whip it in, and that's easy for Alisson to take the ball high above his head in front of the Kop inside the 6-yard box. Strangely these days, the Kop feels shrouded by the other 3 stands. Feels like the smallest stand in the ground, but of course it is the most historic, and all of the banners pre-match behind the goal, and the huge Portuguese flag in memory of Diogo Jota, floral tributes and scarves outside Anfield, and a very special mural for the man who will be forever Liverpool's number 20. Out on the right for Bournemouth, the near side is Semenyo. Adam Smith is on the underlap, and Van Dijk gets across to tuck it behind. Liverpool looked nervy defensively in the Community Shield last weekend, and they are nervy defensively so far tonight. Bournemouth corner 0-0.
Yeah, they haven't got to grips yet with the new fullbacks, with the wide players and the connection between those fullbacks and the centre-backs, and there's space there for Bournemouth to take advantage of, and they have done. They've been really aggressive early on, Bournemouth.
Again, Liverpool have brought everybody back to defend this corner. The number 7, David Brooks, will whip it into the penalty area. Free header off the line. Evan Nielsen at the near post. And cleared off the line at the far post by Szoboszlai for Liverpool. Now Salah wins a throw out towards the right back position. But Evan Nielsen so nearly shocking the Premier League.
Yeah, just starting on the goalkeeper, Evan Nielsen, and then just nipping into that 6-yard line.
And now Liverpool come forward at the other end. Ekitike looks for Salah, back to Ekitike, holds it up well, McAllister square, Salah 25 yards out, reverse ball towards Gakpo, tucked behind on the slide by Smith. Well, what an open and exciting start this is to the new Premier League season. It really is a special time of year for all the lovers of the game, the opening match of the new top flight season, and it's certainly delivering in terms of all the intensity and energy that you'd expect. Somehow it's still 0-0.
Did we expect anything less? This is the Premier League. Think how excited we were when we woke up this morning. The players 10 times as much. They want to get out there. The intensity's been brilliant.
We're punching the air with delight before the game. Wirtz with the in-swinging corner for Liverpool, flicked on at the near post towards Gakpo, and then it's plucked out of the air by Petrovic, who rises highest. Strange throw out from the goalkeeper, put Tavernier under all sorts of pressure, and he's knocked the ball out of play. Liverpool throw in front of the Bournemouth dugout. Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Liverpool against Bournemouth live right now. Search Now Sports. Nearly 12 minutes into the new Premier League campaign. McAllister, centre circle for the champions Liverpool. Now 20 league titles all time, level of course with Manchester United's English League record. Van Dijk with a diagonal ball, right to left, overhit beyond Gakpo and out of play for a Bournemouth throw. And the great thing about Bournemouth under Andoni Iraola, Dean Ashton, is yes, they can be pragmatic, and yes, they were very good defensively last season, but they can come and play even at the big grounds too, and they certainly showed that last season, Bournemouth.
Well, they want to trust in their abilities, that's for sure, and they have got good players, but it's the intensity out of possession, and they're away again.
Great ball, Tavernier, high over the top, down the inside left. Brooks is after it, he slips under the challenge of Frimpong. He's got Truffert in support, completely unmarked. Salah very much out of position there as Bournemouth look for Tavernier again towards the dead ball line, nudges it back out wide to the far side. Brooks looks for Truffert, good build-up play. Truffert darts away from Szoboszlai, whips in the right-footed cross. Scott heads it across goal, headed away by Konate this time for Liverpool. And now they're on the break, the Reds. Ekitike nearly got there in front of Senesi. Looked like handball. Liverpool appeal and look towards the referee. And in fact, the free kick has gone the other way, and Bournemouth want to take it quickly. There's no way they'll be allowed to do so. Ekitike and Van Dijk cannot believe it. Of course, the new situation in the Premier League this season, the captain will come and speak to the referee. But did Senesi get away with a slice of good fortune there, Dean Ashton?
Well, I think there was panic that set in for Senesi. He's under pressure by Ekitike. It's just whether he deliberately handballs it. He does try and get a little claw to it. He just throws it out, and I think it glances his fingertips. And that could be enough. That's all it could take, is just the fingertips to take it away from Ekitike. And I think it does. He has absolutely got away with that, because Ekitike is probably through on goal.
Well, he's centre circle, but Senesi's the last man, and Ekitike is rapid. Long from Smith. Bournemouth got the free kick in the end. Pumped high towards the far side there left, and up goes Brooks with Szoboszlai, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Liverpool away to our right-hand side.
I'm sorry, but that feels so much like it's the first game of the season, and we don't want to ruin it. We don't want a man setting off so early in the first game of the season, and therefore we haven't made the right decision, because Senesi takes a swipe at the ball in his panic, and the fingertips takes enough of a touch to take it away from Ekitike. He would have been through on goal. It's a red card, and they've just not made the decision that they should have done.
Well, if that's the way the officials look at it, I mean, that just can't happen, can it?
But also, how fast was the decision made?
Well, maybe too quickly.
And again, I would always go back to say, why is the man in the middle, Anthony Taylor, not going over and having a good look at that? Because that would have happened so fast. He probably wouldn't have even seen it.
Not enough time for VAR to intervene and try and help him out, but Senesi gets very fortunate indeed. A deliberate swipe of the ball with his right hand to flick it away from Ekitike. And the first refereeing controversy of the new Premier League season has arrived less than 15 minutes in. Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0. 500 live commentaries this season on the network. Great ball, Salah, down the left for Gakpo, edge of the area, shrugs aside Smith, faced up by two. Gakpo can't nudge it back to a red shirt. Adams, industrious in the way to sweep it clear for Bournemouth again. Now Semenyo gives it away to McAllister, too strong in midfield for Scott. Wirtz looks for Salah, dink over the top towards Ekitike, just slightly misjudged. It'll go behind for a goal kick to Bournemouth. Some of Salah's touches in the opening minutes have been exceptional tonight.
Oh, it's a great idea. So close on the execution. Salah, ball into Wirtz, he's looking for his wide man, and the first time he's looking just to feed that in to Ekitike's chest, and it was just a fraction over hit. What a great idea.
Just a few moments ago, by the way, David Brooks was booked for delaying the restart. I think he smuggled another ball onto the field of play as Allison was about to take a goal kick for Liverpool. Bournemouth have never won at Anfield, would you believe it? Liverpool have scored a glut of goals in recent meetings, and of course there was that 9-0 victory early on in the season in 2022-2023. Liverpool might feel that Bournemouth's Senesi should already have been sent off for handball, with Ekitike poised to race clear on goal. In the end, the free kick went Bournemouth's way, and they've got another free kick now right in front of Arne Slot, who berates the officials on the near side touchline. Alex Scott is fouled, and that's a Bournemouth free kick on the near side of the field in the 17th minute of the game. Once we're done tonight, and we'll bring you live reaction from both managers on TalkSport, you'll be able to have your say on the Sports Bar Weekender. 03717 223344. From about 10:30 tonight. Now Smith to take the throw for Bournemouth, just inside Liverpool territory. Good hold-up play by Evan Nielsen, the number 9 with the pink boots on, and Diakite with a firmly hit back pass to his new colleague, the new Bournemouth goalkeeper Petrovic. Diakite stumbles as he hoists a high ball down the inside right, nodded clear by Kirkes against his old team. Adams on the halfway line for Bournemouth. Nice football as they go back to the Akite, and vastly outnumbered tonight, the Bournemouth supporters, but making quite a noise in the lower tier of the Anfield Road end to our left-hand side. Flicked by Semenyo down the middle. Konate waited for Addison, and then he hooked it unconvincingly away from danger, not very far. Bournemouth have it back with Evan Nielsen, but he was coming back from an offside position, and that is a free kick to Liverpool. I wonder what Anthony Taylor will think, Dean Ashton, when he sees that replay of the Senesi incident again. Oh, Liverpool nearly give it away again through Van Dijk. A nervousness about Liverpool playing out of the defensive third. We'll get a word from Dean in just a moment, but here is Gakpo for Liverpool, and he is now offside.
Well, ultimately, he will probably think, I wish I could have had a look at it and made my own decision. It's been taken out of his hands, of course, by Michael Oliver, who made the decision. Seemed a very quick decision. And of course we don't want to see players sent off, and of course it is the first game of the season, but ultimately you have to judge each incident on its merit. And Senesi intentionally handles the ball away from Ekitike when he's about to run through on goal.
Well, whether it's week 1 or week 38, it doesn't matter, and surely it shouldn't matter. That's not how you referee Premier League football matches. Anyway, flicked by Wirtz over halfway, and Bournemouth have it back.
They've just got a bit of joy at the moment, Bournemouth. They've obviously got Semenyo on the right-hand side, player in Kirkes he knows very well, and they're just looking to hit that diagonal towards him, and he's won every single header against Kirkes, as you would expect, and they're looking to then feed off that.
Liverpool win the ball back with Kirkens, left back. This is interesting, Dean. VAR's decision, the explanation that we've had, is that Senesi had no control over the ball. I'm not sure that was the case.
So they're ultimately saying that it was just a natural movement of his body, which is total nonsense. He knew exactly what he was doing because he was panicking.
Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0. Ball is given away by McAllister. Bournemouth have it on halfway with Tyler Adams, and now here is Diakite midway inside his own half the field. High ball up the right-hand side, that's way overhit. And now, in the 20th minute of the match, Diogo Jota's song begins to ring around Anfield. 60,000 on their feet, and what remarkable noise from these remarkable supporters. Arne Slot put it perfectly yesterday when he spoke of the Liverpool fans' ability to rise to the occasion, yes, in times of celebration, but in times of grief and in tragedy too. Diogo Jota and Andre Silva, two brothers who died together just 11 days before his death. Diogo had married his long-term partner with whom he had 3 children. They are here inside the stadium to witness and to listen to these extraordinary tributes tonight. The Bournemouth fans applaud as well. Diogo Jota's shirt number retired for all time. He is forever immortalised at Anfield, always Liverpool's number 20. And Diogo and Andre, forever brothers, forever in our hearts, never forgotten, never to walk alone. Liverpool have the ball now with Salah, midway inside the Bournemouth half, and now possession taken up by McAllister. Back to Salah from range, dances beyond 1, 2, 3, almost into the box, blocked off by Truffert at the last moment. Bournemouth smuggle it away up to the halfway line, and Anfield once again rose to the occasion in remarkable fashion. Here is Wirtz for Liverpool, marauding towards the right corner of the area, then shuffling infield, square ball towards the left, ambitious, cut out by Smith before it could reach Cody Gakpo. 0-0 as we come close to the halfway point of the first half in the first game of the Premier League season, Dean Ashton.
Yeah, and Florian Wirtz, you can just almost see his eyes just scanning that attacking area as players are moving swiftly beyond him, just looking for the right pass, and that cleverness of his play has been excellent so far.
Diogo Jota's song is sung again, but now Liverpool lose the ball. Frimpong tracking back effectively enough in the right back area to take it off the toes of Brooks. Early ball Wirtz down the right hand side, perfectly played for Salah, right by the corner flag. Salah's kept it in on the dead ball line. He's advancing towards the penalty area now, plays it back to Frimpong, right corner of the box. Now Szoboszlai takes over, Hush descends among the crowd. Szoboszlai out wide right, Salah first time looping cross, and that's an easy take for Petrovic. The noise died down, and really so did the energy in the Liverpool attack. And actually, credit to Bournemouth, because Petrovic had that early save to make from Salah. He's not been tested since then.
No, and it's a save you would have expected him to make. It was a decent effort from Salah, but not a great chance. Bournemouth actually have created the better chance in Semenyo's.
Now Salah hooks the ball over his shoulder towards the edge of the penalty area. Ekitike brings it down. Oh, was he fouled by Senesi? No. I think Bournemouth have been given a free kick anyway. No offside, I don't think, against Ekitike. But the referee, Anthony Taylor, once again points for a Bournemouth free kick. I suppose he must think that Ekitike shoving the back of Diakite.
Yeah, that'll normally do it. He was just far enough away, and Ekitike thought, I just need to give Diakite a little nudge in the back. It was enough for a foul. The right decision from Anthony Taylor.
So Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0. The latest odds are with Ladbrokes. Right now you can get Liverpool at 4-11, Bournemouth 6-1, the draw at 19-5. All thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, gambleaware.org. Liverpool with this dynamic front four. Down the left with Gakpo, infield, blocked off by Adams, who's done a very effective job so far. Here is Wirtz though, 30 yards from goal left of centre, robbed by a combination of Semenyo and Scott, who was brilliant for England's under-21s in the summer at the Euros. Now a foul by McAllister, right in front of Andoni Iraola, and though the Liverpool fans at the front of the main stand are out of their seats in protest, Anthony Taylor definitely got that decision right.
Yeah, there's just a couple of moments for Wirtz to realise that he won't have the time on the ball that maybe he had in the Bundesliga, in the Premier League, just been dispossessed twice in a minute. And then Semenyo, super footwork and strength to get away from Kerkez and then draw the foul from McAllister. Been impressed with Bournemouth so far in this game. Like I said, we're not suddenly going to forget how the manager wants them to play.
Well, one or two doubts surrounding Bournemouth coming into the season, and of course when you lose four of your back five from the previous campaign, including the lone goalkeeper Kepa, who of course is now signed for Arsenal, you can understand those doubts, but they're a good footballing side, Bournemouth. I don't think they'll be anywhere near the relegation zone this season. Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0. Bournemouth have a throw. Semenyo, the winger, who signed a new contract over the summer, has come across the near side to take it, hurls it in long towards the near post, headed away by Ekitike, only half clear, not convincing from Liverpool defensively there. Bournemouth now with Smith, scooping it long towards the edge of the box. A looping ball drops over the head of Frimpong, who's tussling with Brooks on that Liverpool right-hand side, and Brooks fouls Frimpong, and two ironic cheers. The free kick is given to Liverpool, and Addison will come across to take it. Quite a frenetic and chaotic start to the game, but it's settled down here with the score still 0-0, and Andoni Iraola, you would think the Bournemouth boss will be the happier of the two managers live on TalkSport.
Yeah, it's just been a slightly clunky start from Liverpool. A couple of mistakes at the back in wide areas, still getting used to that, and then not quite linking up perfectly in attack so far.
That's the voice of former England striker Dean Ashton, played in the Premier League of course. Dean with us tonight, high up in the commentary box at Anfield. Kerkez for Liverpool, left back position. Van Dijk under pressure had to skew the ball forward to Szoboszlai, whose awkward pass bobbles up to the feet of Konate, beat Brooks in a foot race. Now wide right to Salah. Salah all left foot, Frimpong on the overlap, down by the dead ball line. Frimpong in a one-on-one with Truffert. Back to Szoboszlai now, and Bournemouth effective at getting plenty behind the ball in those royal blue shirts. Wirtz almost gives it away, but Szoboszlai's there to win it back. 25 yards from goal, header away by Scott for Bournemouth, and now Brooks trying to nudge it into the path of Evan Nielsen. Van Dijk, ever assured, gets across. Wirtz immediately angles the ball wide right again. Now the cross by Frimpong. Ekitike went near post. Diakite was there to smuggle it away from him, and behind at the expense of a corner to Liverpool in front of the Anfield Road end.
Superb defending from Diakite. Just saw the darting run from Ekitike to the near post, stepped across brilliantly to intercept the Frimpong cross from the right hand side.
Liverpool, the Premier League's highest goal scorers last season, 86 they managed. No goals on the first night of this year's Premier League campaign so far. Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0, and Anthony Taylor has jogged away from the penalty area towards the near side. And what's he thinking here, the referee? The fourth official is stepping towards the touchline, and Andoni Iraola is coming across as well, and he's having a word with Anthony Taylor at the moment. Arne Slot is now joining the conversation. Discussion between the referee, the fourth official, and the two head coaches. And now one or two of the players are leaving the penalty area. It will be a Liverpool corner shortly, we hope. But Anthony Taylor's still in conversation with both Slot and Iraola as we speak. Well, it's still 0-0.
I think Semenyo spoke to Anthony Taylor about something. Virgil van Dijk's just speaking to Antoine Semenyo. Now Semenyo's walking across, so I'm not sure if something has been said. as they're pointing, down the touchline. But certainly Semenyo spoke to the referee about something.
Arm around the shoulder from Iraola for Semenyo, who came across the touchline earlier to take a long throw into the penalty area. But we don't really know any more other than that. It is purely speculative at the moment, but Anthony Taylor now gesturing towards the near side touchline, the right-hand side in front of the main stand. It's unclear exactly as to what's happened at the moment. Semenyo looks towards the referee, looks towards his teammates again, and whatever's happened, I'm sure it'll be dealt with effectively enough. Both sets of players have come across. There is an announcement over the PA system. I'm not entirely sure what that refers to either, but now the Liverpool and the Bournemouth players head back towards the penalty area. Semenyo gets an arm around the back from the referee, and I just wonder whether maybe something has been said at some point in these first 30 minutes to Antoine Semenyo. As I say, he was at the front of the touchline a few moments ago to take a throw, and whether something was said then or whether something was said at another point throughout the first half, I'm not entirely sure. But as soon as we know more, we'll bring you more here on Talk Sport. It is Liverpool 0, Bournemouth 0. We don't know exactly what happened, but the sense maybe is that something has been said to Antoine Semenyo, the Bournemouth forward. Anyway, he's back helping his team defend this Liverpool corner. Florian Wirtz is going to take it. It'll be right-footed and out-swinging, scoop high, and Van Dijk climbs, and it's straight at Petrovic.
Yeah, it was a decent corner from Florian Wirtz towards Van Dijk. He's just so dangerous when he attacks the ball in the penalty area, but it was more of a looping header. It's quite far out from goal, outside the penalty spot area, so needed to try and generate the power himself, and it was a bit loopy towards Petrovic, who handled cleanly.
Well, Bournemouth have got a throw in their right back position on the near side of the field. They'll be delighted with the opening 31 and a half minutes so far. They were in danger on the road to teams in the Premier League last season as well. The big wins at Manchester United, at Newcastle, a first ever away victory against Arsenal. They have never beaten Liverpool though at Anfield in any competition. They have beaten them down on the south coast. Semenyo looking to wriggle away down the near side the right. Good sliding challenge by Kirkes, well timed in a congested area. Then Gakpo is tripped by Smith. That'll be a Liverpool free kick in the left back position, and it's quite a stop-start feel now to this opening game of the Premier League season. We've got Aston Villa against Newcastle tomorrow lunchtime in the Premier League, build up from 11 o'clock, kick off at 12:30. At the same time, Wrexham against West Brom in the Championship is on TalkSport 2. That's an eye-catcher. Blackburn against Birmingham on TalkSport 2 at 3. Of course, the best way to keep across all the action is to download our free app, and that we can swipe between both stations at your leisure. Ekitike jostling with Diakite. Out of play, Liverpool throw. Near side the left.
I know you were excited by that name combination when the team sheets came out.
I'm not sure excited is quite the right word, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a test.
No tangles so far. We've come through okay, actually. But in terms of that one-on-one, it is one of the fascinating clashes of the night, Dean, and Diakite is just about edging it so far.
He is, and I'm a little bit surprised, actually, that Ekitike hasn't maybe moved across towards Senesi. He's very much stayed on that side. Bournemouth, actually, again, like I said, I think have made an excellent start to the game, really well drilled. Maybe a stat that goes under the radar a bit with Bournemouth last season. They were first for fouls per match. They're a team that actually really unsettle you and are not afraid to very much put their foot in and start the game. And it's worked pretty well already so far.
Liverpool win it back half the pitch. Kirkes early ball down the middle, hoisted away by Smith for Bournemouth. Szoboszlai, Liverpool's number 8 in the centre circle. Back to Konate. Still 0-0, 11 minutes of the first half remaining, plus added time. Liverpool on the attack. McAllister bursting up the middle, lays it square behind Frimpong, and Truffert comes out of defence for Bournemouth to Brooks. Now Evan Nielsen. Can they counter? Over halfway down the left-hand side, in front of the Kenny Dalglish side of the ground is Tavernier. He holds it up and goes square to Scott. Now, in terms of the Antoine Semenyo incident that we mentioned, I'm sorry to tell you that our colleagues on television are reporting that Semenyo was the subject of a racist comment from the crowd. And we'll try and bring you more on that as soon as we get it. Smith surges into the area for Bournemouth, pulls it back, and Tavernier with a tame effort, but he's straight at Addison, really. He should have done much better running onto that. Free shot at the back post, 0-0, and now Liverpool break. Salah floats it over halfway. Viet trying to bear down on goal, cuts infield into the area, blocked off by Diakite with help from Adams. Well, Bournemouth have had 2 big chances in the first half. Should be 1-0 to them.
And again, they make the most of Liverpool's defensive frailties out wide. Lovely play between Evan Nielsen and Smith, who pulls it back. And actually, I think that Tavernier thinks Brooks is going to take it. He doesn't. He leaves it for Tavernier. You would expect, either because Brooks didn't want to hit it with his right foot, or he had a shout from Tavernier, but Tavernier wasn't ready. And he just scuffed it into the floor and into Alisson's hands, when really could have taken a touch, and it would have been a super chance for Bournemouth once again.
Goalless at Anfield, live on Talk Sport. Dean Ashton, former England striker, with us for commentary. Less than 10 minutes remain of the first half as the sun sets at Anfield and the floodlights gain a little bit more in terms of prominence here at this great football theatre. Over 60,000 the capacity now. And just to reiterate that very disappointing news, this is from our colleagues from television. Antoine Semenyo, the subject of a racist comment from the crowd. It was Semenyo himself who brought attention to it, and that's why both Arne Slot and Andoni Iraola were informed by the referee, and that's why the game was briefly stopped. And of course, all of our backing, as it would be with any right-thinking person, is right with Antoine Semenyo. Ekitike busting through the middle for Liverpool! He scored! On his Premier League debut! Welcome to the top flight, Hugo Ekitike! He slides on his knees in celebration. He points to the Liverpool crest on his shirt. Hugo Ekitike, who scored in the Community Shield, is off and running at Anfield, and the Premier Club in the Premier League, the champions, lead by a goal to 0.
Well, what a well-taken finish this was. Clinical, that maybe was missing at times by Liverpool forwards last season, but he gets a massive amount of luck. The ball just frees itself towards him as he lent it towards McAllister, gave it him back. It was a heavy touch. Senesi came out, it bounced off Senesi's shins, straight onto Ekitike's shins and right into his path. And then all he had to do was get his head up, take his time and send it the opposite side to Petrovic's dive. 1v1 from the penalty spot, sends the keeper the wrong way, and Liverpool 1-0 up.
And he held up with his fingers Ekitike 2-0, and Liverpool's first goal of the new Premier League season, the first goal of the Premier League campaign, full stop, is celebrated in tribute to Diogo Jota. Again, a reminder that he will never ever be forgotten. Hugo Ekitike scores the first goal of the new campaign, and Liverpool are 1-0 up. Over the halfway line goes Konate, striding forward the tall centre half for Liverpool. Wirtz, angled ball, wide left, Cody Gakpo onto it, right-footed cross, Ekitike! Oh, he should score! Hit it over from inside the 6-yard box. What an opportunity!
Oh yeah, brilliant ball, wasn't it, from Wirtz to Gakpo. Gakpo straight out of his feet, looking to arc that in towards Ekitike, who just drifted away from Senesi. Again, it was a fraction high for him. Actually, it would have been better if he would have left it for Mo Salah, who was behind him. where he tries to angle his neck to get the ball downwards, comes off the side of his head in the end and bounces over the top, but it's half a chance for Ekitike.
So 1-0 Liverpool lead, and Ugo Ekitike's name is being sung by the crowd on the Kop. 2-2 for the new signing, and already starting to pay back some of that £79 million. Dean Ashton, yes, there was a bit of fortune in terms of the way that it fell to him, but he took it so very calmly indeed, and this is exactly why Liverpool are being billed as the team to beat in the Premier League again.
We're just adding, of course, to that forward line. Obviously there's the Alexander Isak saga that continues, but they moved quickly, didn't they, for Ugo Ekitike when Newcastle clearly said no to Isak, and already he's showing what a wonderful talent he is in his own right.
If Liverpool do get Isak, does that mean either he or Ekitike is a reserve, is a second choice? That's not an enviable dilemma that Arne Slot could well have. Forward by Szoboszlai, poking the ball over halfway, getting the return from Ekitike, who has the champions in front on Talk Sport. Liverpool 1, Bournemouth 0, live from Anfield. With Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever it is, they're here for it. Liverpool try to attack down the middle, Diakite smuggles it away. Up to the halfway line where Semenyo holds it up. McAllister makes a block tackle, last touch off Semenyo. Liverpool throw near side of the field on the halfway line, and now there's a different feel about the game, isn't it, Dean, with Liverpool 1-0?
It's just given them an energy boost, doesn't it? That opening goal. And again, just starting to put some combinations together, especially in midfield.
Well, it was a very composed finish from Liverpool's new frontman, their new number 22, and 22 goals he scored last season for Frankfurt, 2 already in a Liverpool shirt. McAllister's heavy touch midway inside his own half. Adams is there to win it back for Bournemouth, back to the halfway line, and Senesi, little dink out to the left back position. Truffert away from Salah. Salah, though, with help from Frimpong, is there to win it back, and now the red shirts flood forward again. Salah's ball off the back of Adams, and that's spun nicely into the path of Truffert, and Bournemouth have got it back again. Now Bournemouth have it all to do, but of course what they mustn't do is go further behind. Liverpool, as ever really, pretty imperious at home, only lost once here in the Premier League last season, but now Semenyo for Bournemouth, infield from the right, square ball to Tavernier, 25 yards out, works it wide to Brooks, first cross is blocked, second attempt with his right foot is turned away by Konate. Salah trying to break upfield, Brooks wriggles back to him and wins it back. Now Tavernier to Brooks again, wide to the right hand side, Smith towards the right corner of the penalty area, sliding in was Kerkez, and it is a free kick to Bournemouth in a very dangerous position late in the first half. Kerkez lunging in, mistimed that, and he is going to get a yellow card as well.
Well, he's got to let it go, hasn't he? He's got to realise he's not going to get there. Smith was by far the favourite to pop that over the top of Kerkez, who's hurt himself really in the challenge that he made. Smith going acrobatically, tumbling over Kerkez.
Well, concedes a free kick against his old team, and a dangerous position here for Bournemouth in front of the Kop. It's about 6 yards from the right corner of the penalty area. Brooks, one arm up into the air. Actually quite a lot of movement now around Anfield as we head towards the final couple of minutes of normal time. There'll be quite a bit of added time, you would think, at the end of the first half. Now Brooks is going to fizz this in left-footed, got a very good left foot. Liverpool have decided to bring everybody back defensively again. Arne Slot issuing instructions from the edge of his technical area. The champions are 1-0 up on TalkSport. Brooks to whip it in, poor delivery, cleared away at the near post, and indeed the flag is up now, and the referee and his assistant spotted something. Kerkez was in the way, and it's a free kick to Liverpool with no harm done from the Bournemouth delivery.
And Bournemouth have just got to realise that they've actually had a good half. They've been a real threat, very much been a big part of this first half, and actually I think they've looked more of a threat than Liverpool. It was a very, very fortunate break that Ekitike got for his goal, and they haven't been carved open, Bournemouth, that's for sure.
The ball is cleared upfield by Allison and nudged away over halfway by the American Adams. Van Dijk sends it back to Allison again. Feels like he's been at the club for such a long time, even longer than when he arrived in 2018. So 7 years at Anfield now for Allison. A new competition this season with Mama Dashvili on the Liverpool bench for the first time in the Premier League tonight. Ekitike, the goal scorer, tries to flick it into the path of Weert, back from Tavernier to the Bournemouth goalkeeper. Petrovic has to hurriedly clear that under pressure up towards halfway. Last 30 seconds of normal time in the first half, and Liverpool 1, Bournemouth 0 it remains. Tavernier almost in the left back area, forward to Truffert. Good angled pass to the left hand side. Brooks in a one-on-one with Frimpong. Truffert herring forward the Frenchman to get forward on the overlap, but it's the Dutchman Frimpong who's there to head clear for Liverpool. One of the key signings of the summer for Arne Slot to replace Alexander-Arnold. So Boslai hits an early ball down the middle. Out comes Petrovic. Good starting position from the goalkeeper, and he'll hook the ball into touch. Liverpool throw far side on the halfway. We're into 3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half on Talk Sport. Will Bournemouth feel, Dean Ashton, that they've shown they can get back in it?
Very much so. Created 2 great chances. They've limited Liverpool really to half chances, I would say, other than the goal, which, like I said, was so fortunate. So there's some real positives for Bournemouth, but as Liverpool showed last season, even when they're not maybe at their absolute best, they're very, very good at getting results.
Liverpool have possession with Kanate. Long sleeve red shirt on, forward to Weert, the new number 7, and many of the great Liverpool legends have worn that number in the past. Ekitike robbed on the halfway line by Senesi. Quick ball forward to Evan Nielsen, back to Scott, right of centre. Was he fouled by McAllister? Yes, he was. Another free kick in a useful area here for Bournemouth. Only about 6-7 yards from the edge of the penalty area, right of centre. Probably going to be whipped in, maybe too far out for a shot, but Bournemouth trying to force an equaliser nearly halfway through the 3 minutes of first half added time.
And that's where they do look vulnerable, Liverpool, is on the turnovers, which Bournemouth look to do regularly. McAllister and Szoboszlai both out of position there, and just as he tried to win the ball back, gave the free kick away against Alex Scott, and Tavernier will certainly size this one up. Don't be surprised if he has a go.
Well, it might just favour the left foot of Tavernier, and he can hit them. Got a very good left foot. It is from range, a long way out to try and beat Addison. Right of centre, curler from Tavernier hits Salah in the 2-man Liverpool wall, and it'll spiral out of play for a Bournemouth throw on the near side. A minute of first half added time to go. And darker blue now the skies at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Bournemouth 0 on Talk Sport. Aston Villa against Newcastle tomorrow lunchtime. The second game of the Premier League season. What an opening weekend we've got for you on the Talk Sport network, with Leeds against Everton. Leeds back in the top flight. Everton have made a load of interesting new signings live on the Monday Night Football. Long throw into the penalty area for Bournemouth, only half away by Liverpool. It'll drop down to Truffert, hooks it over his shoulder. Senesi still forward to nod it down towards Scott. Tried to meet it on the volley, blocked off by the lunging challenge, I think, of McAllister. He's gone down and stayed down, but now Liverpool race clear on the counter. Gakpo to Salah, right edge of the box, taking on Truffert into the area. Salah blocked, Gakpo can't get there. Brilliant late challenge by Smith. And now Bournemouth come forward from left to right towards the Kop, and Salah's gone down at the other end. Bournemouth play on. Evan Nielsen into the area. Low shot driven wide, left footed. Well, a chaotic end to an action-packed first half as Liverpool move to within 45 minutes of a winning start in the new Premier League season. The champions in front thanks to Ugo Ekitike's goal on his Premier League debut. That after magnificent tributes to the late Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva in the build-up to the game, and indeed Ekitike's celebration referred to Jota's now retired, immortalised number 20. Before that, Bournemouth perhaps were fortunate not to have Senesi sent off for handball as Ekitike looked to race clear, but they have had chances of their own. Tavernier and Semenyo should have done better from good positions. The one massive disappointment of this first half of football is that we understand a racist comment was directed at Antoine Semenyo earlier in the game as he prepared to take a throw, and there is no room for that in football or in society. But on the field, it's Liverpool who lead at the break. Ekitike the scorer. Liverpool 1, Bournemouth 0. And there are no changes at half-time for either side. It doesn't look like anyway. So it's as you were for the second half at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Bournemouth 0 on TalkSport. And Ugo Ekitike off to a flying start in the Premier League. Bournemouth get the second period underway from right to left, all in royal blue towards the Anfield Road end, and Liverpool attacking the Kop end in the second half, all in red from left to right. Headed away by Kanate at the heart of the back line, stamped forward downfield for Bournemouth by Diakite, chasing his Semenyo, and he's fouled his former teammate Kirkes, and that is a Liverpool free kick. So they have Addison in goal, Frimpong, Kanate, Van Dijk and Kirkes, Szoboszlai and McAllister, Salah, Wirtz and Gakpo behind Ekitike up front. And for Bournemouth, the goalkeeper is Petrovic, Smith, Senesi, Diakite and Truffert in the back four. Adams and Scott holding, with Semenyo, Brooks and Tavernier in support of Evan Nielsen up front. Lovely back heel, Ekitike into the path of Wirtz, 30 yards from goal, pass through the middle, sliding interception by Truffert, corner to Liverpool. Ugo Ekitike already looks like he could be a new star of Anfield, Dean Ashton.
Yeah, lovely centre-forward play, wasn't it? The appreciation of the run of Wirtz, knowing he had to play it first time, back to goal, lovely back heel in towards the German, and then Truffert coming across brilliantly just to stop the pass into Salah.
Plenty of red shirts forward for Liverpool here. You see plenty of these in-swinging Wirtz corners at the Kop end this season, far side of the field. Wirtz delivers 1-0 Liverpool, and it's headed over the top. Ekitike was in there, so too lurking was Virgil van Dijk. I think Ekitike got the last touch, and Bournemouth have a goal kick. So the substitutes tonight: Chiesa for Liverpool, Endo, Jones, Elliott, Gomez, Mamardashvili the goalkeeper, Gumoa, Niodi and Robertson. And the substitutes for Bournemouth: Araujo, Billing, Dennis, Krupi, Hill, Soler, Reece Dottin, Winterburn and Traore. Liverpool win it back on the halfway line with Dominic Szoboszlai. He'll prod it to the fullback Frimpong, and he goes all the way back to Addison away to our left.
Yeah, and just going back, that was actually a half a chance for Ekitike. It was another Adrian Durham, in fact shoulder this time from Ekitike. There's a chance. If he heads that properly, he's 4 yards out. He probably needs a lesson, doesn't he?
From you?
More a Shearer or a Duncan, big dunk, get big dunk in.
Here is Gakpo on the halfway line, scampers away from Adams, away down the Liverpool inside left. On the overlap is Ekitike, whose first touch wasn't great. Wirtz and Salah in the middle. Ekitike, tall and slender, long sleeve shirt. 1-0 Liverpool, 3 minutes played in the second half. Gakpo's cross behind Wirtz and cleared away on the volley by Senesi. It'll drop down to McAllister. Wide left is Kirkes, crossing position, but a low ball to the feet of Ekitike with his back to goal. Now Gakpo into the penalty area, takes aim! What a finish! Cody Gakpo! That is absolutely imperious from Liverpool! Gakpo celebrates in front of the Kop. Once again, he holds up the number 2 and the number 0 with his fingers as Liverpool pay fitting tribute to Diogo Jota. What a moment for Gakpo in front of the Kop, and the champions are very much off and running. Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 0, made by Ekitike, scored brilliantly by Gakpo.
Well, it was a Jota-like finish, wasn't it? The coolness and the calmness of Cody Gakpo. Brilliant centre-forward play by Ugo Ekitike. Just an angled run, just inside the penalty area, back to goal, waiting for the movement. Lovely bit of movement from Gakpo, just to zip in front of him, received the pass, took his time, one touch, two touches, he fakes to shoot, and Bournemouth players move away from him, and then at the right moment, it's just cool and calm, curling side foot, crisply along the floor, into that far corner past Petrovic. It's super play from Cody Gakpo.
So 2-0 and another unerring finish for Liverpool. Some in the crowd actually missed that, making their way back to their seats around us at the back of the main stand. But the vast majority are swaying in song at Anfield, and Liverpool picking up where they left off. Last season's Premier League champions wasting no time in starting to rack up the goals in the new season. 50 minutes in and 2-0 up against Bournemouth. So Bossline the centre circle with an angled ball to Salah. Wirtz is in the middle, Ekitike back post. Salah crosses and a spectacular punch away. Diving through the air was Petrovic. Semenyo hooks it over his shoulder and away from danger. Liverpool look like they've gone up a gear, Dean Ashton, and now they've got a free kick in the left wing position.
Well, of course it's going to give you the confidence, isn't it, to really open up and enjoy yourself as a player. Bournemouth have just got to try and hold things together if they can.
Good turn, McAllister, and the ball deflects off. Ekitike hit Adams and falls perfectly for Salah down the Liverpool right, close to the corner flag. He wants to take the throw quickly as Liverpool keep the tempo high on TalkSport. Little back heel to McAllister from Wirtz. Edge the D. McAllister with a rising shot, tipped over by Petrovic as Liverpool really turn on the style.
Yeah, lovely play, wasn't it, from McAllister? Just quick 1-2 as it came into Wirtz, back to McAllister, and then it opened up for him. We know we can strike it. It was a lovely strike, dipping underneath the crossbar. Petrovic, full stretch, fingertips over the top.
Well, this game could be beyond Bournemouth very shortly, you feel. Another corner to Liverpool at the Kop end, and again it'll be taken by Wirtz. Again right-footed and in-swinging. Van Dijk and Konate are forward, and there's a skirmish in the goal mouth. Salah is not happy with Adam Smith. Gakpo's come across as well, and now Anthony Taylor, having watched the incident unfold, is going to have to deal with it here. Are Salah and Smith going to get called over by the referee? It looks like they are. Tangling right on the goal line in front of the goalkeeper Petrovic, and there's a word from Anthony Taylor for Salah and for Smith, and that, I think for now, is the end of the matter.
Yeah, again just clashing a little bit. Smith just roughing Salah up a bit. He wasn't happy with that, was he, the Egyptian?
Not happy at all, and yet to get on the score sheet tonight for Liverpool. Wirtz with the in-swinging corner again in towards Van Dijk, headed away. Bournemouth with everyone back. Frimpong on the half volley blocks. Van Dijk has a swing at it from inside the penalty area, smuggled away by Bournemouth again. Mo Salah loves the opening day of the Premier League season. The most opening day goals in the history of the competition, 9. Here is Gakpo for Liverpool, left corner of the box, right-footed deflected cross, smuggled away by Diakite, and Szoboszlai blasts it from long range, and he sliced that so far wide, it's nearly gone out for a throw. Goal kick to Bournemouth, away to our right there, 2-0 down, 8 minutes into the second half. The Premier League have released a statement regarding the incident involving Antoine Semenyo in the first half. I'll read that to you in just a moment, but here come Bournemouth with Brooks, and he wins a throw off Szoboszlai on the halfway line. The statement says tonight's match was temporarily paused during the first half after a report of discriminatory abuse from the crowd directed at Antoine Semenyo. This is in line with the Premier League's on-field anti-discrimination protocol. The incident at Anfield will now be fully investigated. We offer our full support to the player and both clubs. Racism has no place in our game or anywhere in society. Brooks for Bournemouth, dead ball line, wriggling away from the defender. Tavernier belts in the cross. Evan Nielsen couldn't get there, overhit by Tavernier. Liverpool throw, but they did get a bit fortunate there, Dean Ashley.
Yeah, Brooks was really clever, as if the ball was going to go out, just too strong for Frimpong, and then just pulled the ball along the line. He was definitely fouled, but obviously Anthony Taylor, rightly so I thought, allowed Tavernier to run onto the ball, but I don't know what he's thinking. It isn't a shot, and he properly whips it across without really looking. He didn't give a teammate a chance of getting on the end of it.
Liverpool throw at a lively Anfield tonight, 2-0 they lead. Szoboszlai with a very strange clearance, blasts the ball high up into the dark sky. It lands close to the edge of the penalty area. Brooks has won it against Frimpong, then sliding it is McAllister, effectively and efficiently to mop it up in the right back position for Liverpool. He's then caught by the rampaging Truffert, who we've only seen for 55 minutes in the Premier League, but it's clear he loves to get forward, and that is a Liverpool free kick on the near side of the field.
Well, it's clear that coming out for the second half, Arne Slot's talked to his players about out of possession. They needed to be more aggressive. Bournemouth really were the aggressors in the first half, out of possession, and early on in this second, Liverpool have been terrific in their energy, in winning the ball back early.
TK on the halfway line, he scored one of Liverpool's 2 goals tonight. The other scorer, Gakpo, has held it up brilliantly and nutmeg the on-rushing Smith, who then brought him down with a firm challenge and not a fair one. Free kick Liverpool, 2-0 they lead on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Liverpool against Bournemouth live right now. Search Now Sports. Aston Villa against Newcastle in the Premier League live with us tomorrow lunchtime. As the season continues, it's off and underway on TalkSport. Salah's reverse ball in field from the right, chested down by Adams midway inside his own half, robbed the possession by Wirtz. All the way gaps on the back for Bournemouth there. Liverpool working wide to Gakpo, had to retreat to find it, and now the ball is at the feet of Wirtz again. Suddenly he's on the left edge of the penalty area, moving about all the time, Wirtz. Gakpo to Ekitike, tried the return ball on the edge of the box, intercepted by Diakite. Bournemouth now have it again with Tavernier, hassled and harried by the onrushing Szoboszlai, forcing him towards his own penalty area, and there was too much in the challenge of Szoboszlai, but Liverpool, it does feel like the tempo has gone up in the second half.
Well, in particular, McAllister and Szoboszlai, they've been much better in that midfield area, their energy to stop that ball going into the Bournemouth forwards, and then they can turn it over, really put pressure on the Bournemouth back line with their quick play. Liverpool,
Endo and Robertson to make their first Premier League appearances of the season for Liverpool in a few moments' time. Stripped and ready to come all in red. Steep drop to the near side touchline below, where Arne Slot is speaking to them both. Both came on in the Community Shield last weekend. Liverpool with the 2-0 advantage. Big diagonal ball by McAllister. Salah on the volley nudges it back to Frimpong. Nice play by Liverpool and well collected by Frimpong on the halfway line. Konate square to Van Dijk as we head towards the hour mark in the game. Van Dijk out to the left and Gakpo, a third goal, surely wraps it up. Gakpo surges infield again to the edge of the D. He's rolled it square towards Salah overhead. Goal kick.
but that is going to happen, especially in the first few games of the season where you're looking to really get that sharpness back. The odd overplayed pass is going to happen, but it's been all Liverpool in this second half, really showing what they're about as champions.
Liverpool, the cream of the crop last season in the Premier League, aiming for likewise this season. Tavernier over halfway for Bournemouth, angled ball down the left, Truffert with a low ball in from the edge of the box. It's turned away by Van Dijk, a little unorthodox. Back it goes to Tavernier with the white boots on, and now Adams to the feet of Senesi. Senesi, the number 5, poor delivery, poor header by Van Dijk. Tavernier down the left, crossing by Brooks. Alisson flaps at it, only half away, and Frimpong clatters the ball against the back of Semenyo, and fortuitously for Liverpool it goes out to play for a goal kick, and they still lead 2-0.
And there's still going to be that threat from Bournemouth. They don't stop again against any opposition. They will continue to try and get back into the game, and Liverpool have just got to be aware of that. There's probably the fact that Endo's coming on says a lot about the state of the game.
Well, the two fullbacks are going to leave the field for Liverpool. Frimpong and Kirkes on their Anfield debuts, Premier League debuts for Liverpool, and standing ovation for both. Endo and Robertson come on, and Conor Bradley, it's worth saying, is still out injured at the moment. So again, not a great deal of backup for Liverpool defensively, particularly in the right back and central defensive positions. Endo has gone to right back, and Robertson will get a big cheer. Pretty much won it all at Liverpool as he goes for the left back spot on the far side. Well, he has won it all, really, Andy Robertson.
And also, he'll have that about him, that he won't just want to give up that left back spot and be a bit of a mentor for Kirkes. He'll want to play, and he needs to show all that professionalism to push Kirkes to the limits of what he's capable of to earn his spot.
Well, a goal and an assist for Ekitike tonight. We're an hour into the first game of the new season on TalkSport. One of 500 commentaries that will bring you on the network throughout this campaign. And you can have your say once we're done tonight at Anfield on the Sports Bar Weekend or later. Here come Bournemouth with Scott. Wide right position is Semenyo into the penalty area. Dancing, shuffling feet. McAllister gets across with an important challenge, and that is a Bournemouth corner. On the far side, in front of the Anfield Road end, which is where the travelling fans are, the Anfield Road end relatively recently remodelled in the last couple of years or so. And Brooks is going to take this Bournemouth corner from the far side there, right, left-footed, and in swinging into the six-yard box, header away by Konate, unchallenged, and good height and distance on the header. True fair for Bournemouth, always looking to come forward, and again he tries one of these mazy runs down the left. The former Rennes player wins Bournemouth a throw. The run was stopped by Weerts, who gets through, as you were saying to me at half-time. Former England striker Dean Ashton, a heck of a lot of work on the pitch.
Oh, incredible, his fitness levels are there, you can see that Weerts. I think just in that first half I felt like he did so much work between the halfway line and the final third without maybe being high enough and close enough to Ekitike to really threaten the goal in terms of an assist or a goal himself, and I'm sure that's something that'll come.
Liverpool win it back up the pitch with Szoboszlai, gets it back from Salah, right corner of the area. Szoboszlai square, Weerts tries to steer it into the bottom corner, and he wasn't far away. Struck that well first time, right-footed. A low shot rolling across the face of goal. Petrovic was scrambling, and in the end just wide.
Yeah, didn't get much power on it, did he, Florian Weerts, as it came across right on the edge of the area centrally, and he just looked to caress it almost into that far corner, just pass it in there, and was just a fraction off on his angles.
Well won back by McAllister with great tenacity, and now he sets up Salah inside right channel. Good ball in with the outside of his foot, smuggled away by Adams on the retreat for Bournemouth. It's still 2-0 to Liverpool against Bournemouth and Anfield on TalkSport. A warm night. Adams over the halfway line for Bournemouth. Good ball down the left hand side. Brooks' cross. Semenyo's there, and he's tucked it in through Alisson, and a route back in for Bournemouth. The champions see their defence breached, and Antoine Semenyo from close range has Bournemouth's first goal of the new campaign. Game on at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 1.
Oh, hello. I mean, the weakness is so obvious for Liverpool. Down the sides, stretching the fullbacks out of their position. Konate it was, that was trying to cover Endo, and coming out wide, Brooks driving down the left-hand side. He spots Semenyo, who is racing towards the penalty spot and beats Robertson there. The ball is perfect from Brooks. Ultimately, it's about getting the contact. Semenyo does this time properly, side foot. It hits Alisson's hand, but it's too firm for him and dribbles into the back of the net. And they are back in it, Bournemouth.
Well, maybe it won't be the stroll that Liverpool were hoping for and perhaps expecting early on in the second half when they were 2-0 in front. Now it's 2-1. Alisson's nervy pass to the left-back position. Robertson does well to push it forward to Wirtz, and now McAllister to Szoboszlai. Excellent work from Liverpool. Gakpo in loads of space on his own at the back post. If Salah can find him, it's not the best cross, headed behind nonetheless by Senesi. Liverpool corner in front of the Kop end, and 20 minutes into the second half. Now there's a real keen interest about this game again, Dean Ashton. Maybe Liverpool are a bit too comfortable.
Slightly, but also Bournemouth, they don't stop. They were super fit last season because of the demands of the manager. They look pretty fresh still in this game, and they'll go on to test Liverpool, who now will feel like really need to get that third goal.
Liverpool trying to do that with a corner again from Wirtz, this time near side, the right, out-swinging, short ball to McAllister, back to Wirtz, Liverpool's number 7 in the area, on the outside, low ball in, only half away, McAllister right corner of the box, tries to dink it in, crosses, charge down, now Gakpo with Adams herring towards him, finds Szoboszlai, he's blocked off, Liverpool trying to smuggle it back into the penalty area, but looks as though Bournemouth could break it any moment. Gakpo wide to Salah, right corner of the area, Wirtz on the overlap, Wirtz to dink it in, and Petrovic is there at the near post. And the Bournemouth goalkeeper has got it back. Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 1 on TalkSport. Ladbrokes with the latest odds. Right now, Liverpool 1-6, Bournemouth 20-1. The draw at 5-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. And Donny Iraola's Bournemouth have stayed in the game. And now they've got a real foothold.
I mean, it did seem early, didn't it, to take your two full-backs off, obviously the Community Shield. And
here they are on the attack again with Brooks, who's set up one goal already, left wing, and plays it back to Tavernier on the corner of the penalty area, shuffles beyond Endo, Tavernier's cross hits Konate, and again hesitancy about Liverpool defensively in the wide positions, and Konate, was he winded there? He's gone down. Bournemouth will get a corner out of it, 2-1 behind as we go into the final quarter of the game.
And again, because of that goal, Bournemouth all of a sudden gaining the confidence, looking to take advantage again. Konate it was pulled out of his position, did well to block the cross though.
Alex Scott to take the resulting corner into the 6-yard box. Alisson stayed at home and it was headed away by Konate. Back out wide left to Bournemouth. Scott again with time to deliver, but that's a really poor cross and easy for Liverpool's number 1. Alisson, quick distribution, high down the middle towards Salah. We know that combination. Salah's in the area. Salah has held it up well here, beyond the defender initially, but not past Truffert, and then he's poked it into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Alisson and Salah, that assist goal combination we've seen for Liverpool more than once in the Premier League, and more than once I think at Anfield too, but this time Salah couldn't make anything of it. Still just 2-1 to Liverpool on TalkSport. High early ball down the Bournemouth left, miscontrolled by Endo, Tavernier's cross, Virgil van Dijk is there before it can reach Evan Nielsen. Another Bournemouth corner with Curtis Jones ready to come on for Liverpool, who look embattled at the moment, the champions.
Yeah, and it's Endo that looks uncomfortable again in that right back position, ball over the top of him. Virgil van Dijk though, outstanding positioning, just sensed where Evan Nielsen was, made sure that he got the right position to stop that cross from Tavernier into the striker. Jones waits to come on. Bournemouth want to take the corner, plenty forward in blue, delivered in by Scott, headed away by Konate, right in front of the goalkeeper. Liverpool so quick on the break. Here is Wirtz, 10 yards shy of halfway, can't set up Robertson on the underlap. Liverpool wanted a free kick, they don't get it from referee Taylor. Back go Bournemouth to Petrovic. 03717 22344 for the Sports Bar Weekender.
once we're done tonight at Anfield from about 10:30. We'll bring you live post-match reaction as well. Hopefully with both head coaches, Slot and Iraola, who are almost side by side on the touchline. Here come Liverpool with Szoboszlai, desperate for the 2-goal cushion back again. Joe Gomez is going to come on for Liverpool as well shortly. Szoboszlai with the angled ball to the left. Gakpo at walking pace. Gakpo with a curling shot straight at Petrovic.
Yeah, needed to be better, didn't it, from Gakpo? Standing start, really. Oh, they're away again.
Good early ball over halfway by Tavernier. They're really targeting the Liverpool makeshift right back Endo. Overhit by Tavernier this time, and Brooks couldn't get on the end of it. But Bournemouth have shown enough to suggest they'll prove a big threat in the Premier League to teams again this season.
Well, and ultimately it will be an admission, won't it, from Arne Slot with Gomez coming on if Endo then comes out of that right-back position.
It just hasn't worked. Scott shuffling forward. Semenyo right corner of the penalty area. Liverpool with more back than Bournemouth have forward, but now Smith crosses, headed away by Endo, drops to Adams midway inside the Liverpool half, and he's helped it out to the left. Trufair, 2-1 down here, Bournemouth, 20 minutes to go. Trufair with a first-time left-footed cross. Up goes Semenyo, headed away by Van Dijk. Liverpool under real pressure now, the champions. David Brooks nearly into the area, blocked off by Szoboszlai, but Liverpool can't get out. It's all Bournemouth at the moment. Liverpool really on the break. Great ball by Senesi. Tavernier back to David Brooks, blocked by Van Dijk. Brilliant twist and turn. Excellent block by the Liverpool captain. Now Trufair. Bournemouth urged forward by the supporters. Anfield Road end. Senesi crosses, and the looping header, wasteful by Evan Nielsen. Well, more than one real threat to the Liverpool goal in that move alone.
Well, you can really sense the mood within Anfield changing. And since the changes from Arne Slot with the two fullbacks going off, Bournemouth have totally dominated, really pushed Liverpool back. And he's having to make more changes now, Arne Slot.
Well, off goes Ekitike after a very successful Premier League debut, a goal and an assist. I think only the second Liverpool player to do that on his Premier League debut after one, Darwin Núñez, who of course is no longer at the club, and the other player leaving the field is McAllister. So on comes Jones, on comes Gomez. What do you think that means for the way Liverpool will set up, Dean Ashton?
Well, in the Community Shield, they pushed Salah and Gakpo up as if they were a sort of wide front two, with Wirtz and Szoboszlai and be Jones and Endo almost as a box four, and obviously Gomez will go to right back, and Endo has probably gleefully come out of that right back position into his familiar holding midfield role. So Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 1 on a fascinating opening night so far in the Premier League, and we continue our coverage of the opening weekend tomorrow from 11 o'clock here on Talk Sport, ahead of the first 12:30 kick-off of the season, live and exclusive on Talk Sport. It will be Aston Villa against Newcastle in a fascinating early game between two sides expected to contend for Europe again. Nearly half the league playing in Europe this season, which is amazing, and a credit to the strength of the game in this country at the top flight level. Salah infield for Liverpool, great ball into the path of Jones, he wasn't picked up. Now wide left is Gakpo into the area, looks to set up the run of Robertson. Gakpo thought about shooting initially, maybe caught in two minds. Smith wins Bournemouth the throw. They're going to bring on Hamed Traore in a moment, Bournemouth. Not seen him in a Bournemouth shirt for a very long time. In fact, the last appearance that he made for Bournemouth was in November 2023 in the League Cup against Liverpool, ironically. And he will replace Alex Scott. Yeah, just I think probably similar change, but I just think maybe Tavernier could move, Brooks could move. Traore will probably go and play alongside Tavernier, with Adams just now as the lone deep line midfielder.
It is Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 1 in the Premier League on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it, book now at enterprise.co.uk. Sports Bar Weekender on the way from 10:30 for you. Adrian and Dean will be with us at Anfield for the post-match reaction and the interviews down in the tunnel. 6 floors down at the foot of the main stand, where we'll hopefully speak to Arne Slot and Andoni Iraola on an emotional night at Anfield, certainly, and a night where Liverpool are edging towards a slightly unconvincing at times 2-1 victory, did Ashton?
If that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, since the changes, they've struggled to keep their concentration and their shape. And Bournemouth have really grown into it since then. And it's still in the balance, that's for sure. And this is where actually, those first games of the season, where are the fitness levels of the players? Who's put the work in? Who's really ready to push through that towards the end? That's why we've already seen plenty of drama in the EFL in the early games of the season.
The EFL are live and exclusive this season again on TalkSport 2. And tomorrow, Wrexham against West Brom and Blackburn against Birmingham are TalkSport 2 EFL commentaries. And of course, the best way to be across everything is to download our free app. Forward for Liverpool comes Szoboszlai. Wide right to Curtis Jones. Further wide on the near side is Salah. Led with the edge of the penalty area, taking on Trufair. Infield goes Salah, pulls it back. Szoboszlai can't reach it. Smuggled away. Bournemouth counter. Semenyo over the halfway line, tearing down the middle. Evan Nielsen ahead of him. Semenyo goes on with a run! What a goal! It's 2-2! What an extraordinary moment! From his own half, Antoine Semenyo took on all comers, rifles it beyond Alisson, and it is a remarkable first night comeback from Bournemouth, and Antoine Semenyo has scored a solo goal to savour. Liverpool went missing defensively. It is Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 2. What a night at Anfield on TalkSport.
Just wow from Antoine Semenyo. Nothing wrong with his fitness levels. They've been unlocked in this first game. He just drives all the way from his own penalty area. No Liverpool player comes towards him, and he really does use Evan Nielsen's run so cleverly, because he actually runs directly at Evan Nielsen in the end, but doesn't use him. Konate gets drawn across, he then cuts back inside, and with one swift movement strikes it with his left foot behind Konate's body. Alisson can't see it, and it rifles into the back of the net. What a comeback from Bournemouth.
2-2 at Anfield. What drama from the best league in the world. And already at the start of the season we're seeing exactly why. It's heralded as such. Liverpool were cruising, but the champions pegged back by Bournemouth. 2-2. Is there going to be a winner with 12 and a half minutes of normal time to go? Free kick to Liverpool in the right wing position. And Liverpool have looked vulnerable defensively, just as they did at the back end of last season, Dean, albeit, in fairness, with 4 games to go, they'd won the title.
I think the worrying part of it is just how open they can look when teams counter-attack against them. That's the worrying part of what we've seen so far in the Community Shield and tonight against Bournemouth, is just how open they can look and exposed on the break.
Well, whatever happens in terms of the final score, much to speak about on the Sports Bar Weekender tonight with Jason Cundy and Carlton Cole on TalkSport. It's fascinating to hear from both managers after the match. Szoboszlai square into the feet of Weerts from the Liverpool free kick. Van Dijk from the angle tries to drive it across goal, and it's turned away by Trufair.
Well, I'm not sure why he doesn't shoot here, Virgil van Dijk, because it's a brilliant pass from Weerts. Van Dijk turns in the penalty area with about 4 yards of space away from the next defender. Just needs to smash that towards goal.
Liverpool towards the Kop end in the second half. Long throw into the penalty area by Gomez. Hit it away. The last touch was from Traore. Endo back to Addison, and I wonder whether Bournemouth and Iraola might feel that could there be something on the counter for them before the end of the night? Could they yet grab a winner? Addison belts the ball long up the middle, takes one bounce, headed away by Petrovic, not very far. Gakpo tries to meet it, cleared away. Now then, the shot is on for Wirtz, but he's gone square. Szoboszlai with a left-footed effort wide of the top corner. It's gone behind for a goal kick to Bournemouth. 2-2 at Anfield on TalkSport, and now the crowd find their voice again with 10 minutes plus added time to go.
Yeah, shaky header, wasn't it, from Petrovic? Pounced upon by Gakpo. Eventually finds his way to Szoboszlai. He's just stretching, that was all. Just slips slightly with his standing foot as well as he went to strike, hence why he put it wide. But of course we're going to see a response from Liverpool.
Well, interestingly, Chiesa is going to come on in place of Wirtz. And 2-2 against Palace in the Community Shield. 2-2 here. Liverpool with Wirtz, one of his last touches. Szoboszlai, wide to Salah, right edge of the penalty area. Szoboszlai with the chip, clawed away by the goalkeeper. Punched it away from goal there, did Petrovic. And Bournemouth look long, over the halfway line. On the break is Traore, who got the assist for that Semenyo goal, but Semenyo ran from inside his own half. Szoboszlai is fouled by Evan Nielsen. 2-2, 9 to go. Anthony Taylor stops Liverpool from taking it quickly and books Evan Nielsen. Dean Ashton, you'd think there's still at least one big chance to come.
It's got that feeling, hasn't it? Because both teams are starting to look a little bit fatigued. And it's just who can hold themselves. There's still at least 9 minutes plus what's going to be added to.
Off goes Wirtz, here comes Federico Chiesa. And he darts straight up towards the Kop end of the stadium. Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 2. Bournemouth from 2-0 down. Both goals scored by Semenyo, who was such a key player for Bournemouth to keep hold of in the summer. Szoboszlai delivers for Liverpool, header away, drops down to Robertson, who nods it on. Chiesa was there, cleared this time by Truffert for Bournemouth. Endo trying to reach a bouncing ball midway inside the Bournemouth half, and Konate will nudge it backwards. Curtis Jones with a raking pass, high diagonal, Salah inside Truffert, who slipped, but Salah couldn't keep control, belted clear by Senesi. Every one of the 8 minutes remaining is going to feel like an age, I'm sure, for the Bournemouth back line and goalkeeper.
But it's not only physically, it's mentally. Can you keep that concentration? Because Liverpool are going to test them, that's for sure, but also Bournemouth will just feel, there might be another chance on the break. Don't shut yourselves out to that possibility.
Well, here is Jones for Liverpool, over the halfway line, far side of the field, the Liverpool left. Robertson makes a run, hooked away, not very far. Robertson blocked off by Diakite, this time just steers it out to play. Liverpool throw at the Kop end. Bits and pieces from Liverpool tonight. Not really been a 90-minute performance. And flag is up on the near side. Corner signalled by Anthony Taylor, but the assistant is flagging. Is that offside against Robertson? I think it is.
I think it is, yeah, as Bournemouth look to make another change.
But it's David Brooks who has been key tonight and is going to be key this season to go off, and young Ben Winterburn, who made his Premier League debut last season, is the man to come on. 20 years of age, number 47 on the back of his blue and black shirt. And Brooks understandably takes his time. 2-2 on TalkSport it remains. 6 minutes plus added time to go, and the Liverpool fans getting frustrated now. A more familiar look about the Liverpool team with the new signings having been all taken off at this point. So it's the Liverpool of last season, albeit not exactly all first choices, the likes of Chiesa and Endo on the pitch as Liverpool look for a winner. Szoboszlai on halfway, Chiesa back to Szoboszlai, held it up well there did Chiesa, hammered into touch by Tavernier. Far side of the field there's the Kenny Dalglish stand. Liverpool throw as they look for a winner. So many late goals at Anfield over the years, of course. You wouldn't be that surprised if we saw one tonight, Dean Ashton.
Well, you just wonder how big it could be as well for Liverpool. They obviously don't want to give any encouragement, do they, to the chasing teams this season. And this would be a bit of a blow, wouldn't it, after being 2-0 ahead. But as great champions, I want to get that winner.
Endo has to squeeze the ball back to Van Dijk under pressure. Van Dijk with a high raking ball out to the right. Salah plucks it out of the air, storms infield away from Truffert, but can't find Chiesa with the square ball. Not a lot of time for Chiesa to come on and make an impact. Suddenly it's all Liverpool from left to right. Bournemouth, understandably perhaps, content to stick with what they have. And already we have a turn up for the books in the Premier League to start the new season. Long ball by Van Dijk. Will just thunder out of play. And, well, just like last weekend, I think, Dean, some big positives for Arne Slot in terms of Liverpool's forward play, but questions defensively.
Yeah, and they did fall off, didn't they, in the Community Shield towards the end of the game. Crystal Palace took advantage, and it's been a little bit similar this evening too. But this is where you've really got to dig in, haven't you, and see what else is there in the reserves of a first game when your legs are tight, calves are starting to sting.
And now Liverpool throw in their right back position on the near side of the field, almost level with our commentary position here. Gomez goes long over the head of Salah, and Senesi is there for Bournemouth, and he will roll it back to goalkeeper Petrovic, who was under pressure from Gakpo, had to really hurriedly clear that upfield. Heart must have been in his mouth there, Petrovic. Now it's with Gomez. We've had nearly 87 minutes. Down goes Salah near side the right, and he has given the free kick here, the referee, against Adrien Truffert. It's only about 10 yards into the Bournemouth half. Truffert will probably take that.
He certainly will. He'll be surprised he hasn't picked up a yellow card for the two challenges he's made, one on McAllister and now one on Salah, both denying a promising attack.
Well, Szoboszlai, the number 8, stands over it. Square ball midway inside the Bournemouth half to find Endo. Central position. Now Robertson hangs up a high cross to the back post. Van Dijk is climbing. Hits it across goal. Drops to the far post. Gakpo's there. Slices it. Only half away. Bournemouth trying to scramble it clear, and they do. And Van Dijk has had to prod it all the way back to the halfway line in Alisson. Bournemouth, I think, relieved about that. Van Dijk has stayed forward. 2.5 minutes of normal time left. Great ball, Alisson. Out to the right. Szoboszlai to Salah. It's swinging cross. Jones is there. Denied. Chiesa! That's the winner! Federico Chiesa in front of the Kop. It is a champion finish from Liverpool. Bournemouth were beaten on the opening night, and it is the super sub who's got the winner with 2 minutes to go. Federico Chiesa with a right-footed volley takes the acclaim of all at Anfield. What a match, what a night, what a moment, and what a victory it's surely going to be for Liverpool. The champions lead Bournemouth by 3 goals to 2.
That is what champions do. They take a hit and they just get up and come right back at you. It's been a brilliant response from Liverpool, but it's Salah's ball that causes all the chaos. Arcing in right between defence and goalkeeper. Petrovic almost pass it up into the air. It's a poor header from Diakite straight to Chiesa, but doesn't he control it well? He's really calm and composed with the side-winding volley, just guides it into the corner, and he's a bit of a favourite here. They love him even more now.
3-2 Liverpool. Bournemouth on the attack. Tyler Adams with the cross, only half away. Liverpool under real threat. Canate hooks it clear. They nearly conceded again. Corner to Bournemouth. 3-2 to Liverpool on TalkSport. The Premier League is back in session, and what a way to kick off the new campaign. 2 changes on the way for Bournemouth shortly. In fact, I think they want to make them now. Hill and Krupi are going to come on. Off goes Smith. Deafening noise at Anfield. What a roar! Guttural roar from the 60,000 when it went in. Adams is the other player going off. Bournemouth will feel desperately disappointed. 6 added minutes at the end of the game. It's a Bournemouth corner. Anfield Road end. Liverpool fans waving their red and white scarves above their heads. Bournemouth corner. The team in blue whipped into the area. Senesi went up, beaten in the air by Canate. They want a free kick, Liverpool, they don't get it. Touch off out of play via Gakpo. It is another corner.
I mean, how many times has Canate won a header from a Bournemouth corner? He's been a colossus from set play so far, Canate. Got a bit of cramp, but still, he's there to head it away.
The threat not over yet for Liverpool. Poor corner by Traore. Robertson is there to clear. Lofted back in by Tavernier. Headed away by Van Dijk. Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 2. A minute and 15 seconds into the 6th added. And Anfield ready to celebrate on the opening night. They're dancing in the stands. And why shouldn't they be? Supporters of the champions singing champion songs, and Federico Chiesa's name is ringing around Anfield. Who would have thought we would have said that at the start of the night? Alisson belts it long. Down the Liverpool right is Salah, and it's bounced off the defender, Truffert. That'll be a Liverpool throw. Right by the corner flag. 4 minutes to go on TalkSport. Sports Bar coming. Sports Bar Weekender from about 10:30 with Jason Cundy and Carlton Cole. 03717 22344. Villa Newcastle tomorrow. Leeds Everton on Monday. What an opening to the new campaign. Here come Bournemouth with Traore blocked off by the slide of Chiesa. The toast of Anfield, Federico Chiesa. Bournemouth go back to Senesi. Nearly halfway through the 6th added. Can they summon up one more chance, Bournemouth? High ball down the Liverpool middle is gathered by Alisson on the edge of his own penalty area, Dean Ashton.
Well, I think the noise and the response of the Liverpool supporters, I think they already understand how important that goal might be. Don't want to give any encouragement. In fact, it's probably a bit of a blow already for the chasers, who might have thought that Liverpool were going to drop points.
Well, Anfield is raucous, of course, under the floodlights. The noise tonight is extraordinary, and it's only the opening night. 3.5 through 6 added minutes, and 3-2 to Liverpool. Bournemouth from right to left hoist it long. Header away, first by Gomez, then by Van Dijk. Nudged forward by Endo. Salah will chase it. Salah will get to it. In front of Hill. Left edge of the area. Salah trying to seal it here. Right foot shot! You bet he sealed it! Mo Salah does what he does best. He's rolled it in to the bottom corner. That is the end of Bournemouth resistance. And last year's leading marksman in the Premier League gets off the mark for the new campaign. What a classic on the opening night. And how appropriate that Salah should seal it in front of the Kop. He bends down to kiss the hallowed Anfield turf. He salutes the Liverpool fans. It's been a thriller. And Liverpool, as Diogo Jota's shirt is held up behind the goal, are going to win it. They're going to beat Bournemouth by 4 goals to 2.
Oh, the king is off his throne. Of course he is. To get in on the act. There was no way he wasn't going to start the season the way he always does, with the ball in the back of the net from his boot. He chased just the long ball down. He sprinted. He wanted it so badly. And then it was just a lovely bit of footwork. Put it onto his right foot and hit it brilliantly. Arrowed it towards the corner.
Oh, they could be in again here with Gakpo down the left. Senesi comes across with the block. Wow. 40 seconds to go. 4-2 to Liverpool. And they look an irresistible attacking force again. Yes, there are some question marks defensively. But the champions, if they go forward like this, are going to be the team to beat. And the salute of champions from the Liverpool fans. And, well, certainly 3 of the biggest names have been on the score sheet tonight. Chiesa may be the surprise. 5 seconds of the 6 added to play. There'll be an almighty roar in just a few moments to signal that Liverpool have won. And now it ends with the song of Diogo Jota. The champions have started their title defence in style. What a night of pure emotion. And still, the song of Liverpool's all-time number 20 rings around Anfield. He's a lad from Portugal, better than Figo, don't you know? Oh, his name is Diogo. He would have been proud of the Liverpool performance tonight, in tribute to their forever number 20 and his brother Andre Silva. Liverpool with 2 late goals, Chiesa and Salah sealing the points. Ekitike and Gakpo had put them 2-0 up before 2 goals from Semenyo looked to have salvaged Bournemouth a point, but the irrepressible champions were not to be denied. What a way to mark the opening night of the new Premier League campaign. A night dedicated in memory surely to Diogo Jota and Andre Silva, and a night where Liverpool have beaten Bournemouth by 4 goals to 2.